Are we recording? Are we on right now? I'm just gonna make sure, you know? Just gonna... Alright, we are, I assume, to be live. Okay, whoa. Alright, we are, I assume, to be live. Okay, so it's going. Okay, so there's this guy called Andrewism, and he's an anarchist, and he's this guy who's an anarchist, and he made a video called "Workers of the World Won't Unite," which, I mean, it's by an anarchist. It's gonna be a blast. I would have somebody on here, but you know. It's currently 1:30 a.m. So I guess we'll get into it.
There's this quote that goes, "Workers of the world unite. You have nothing to lose but your chains." Maybe you've heard of it. Times have changed since 1848 though, clearly. And while the slogan is still popular, I think it's a bit misleading, because a lot of workers do have things to lose besides their chains.
Okay, hold on. The slogan refers to... The slogan refers... Alright? It refers to the fact that most workers don't own private property. Most workers aren't... Like, the petty bourgeoisie inevitably dies out as a class, and the proletariat basically has, at that point, nothing to lose. If you weren't an anarchist, if you actually did the reading, you would understand the slogan. I'm sorry.
Things that maybe they didn't have to lose back when that quote was originally issued. We don't do ourselves any...
Back when what changed from here and now? Do the workers have to lose 6, 7 tongue sir? Do they have to lose Mr. Beast and Overwatch porn? Do they? What do they have to lose now that they don't have to lose then? How have the class distinctions and the build of the system changed since then? How has the overall system itself changed since then? Outside of, you know, the obvious, like, imperialism and which is the final stage of capitalism type shit. All of that. What do the workers have to lose?
favors or make any inroads in our efforts by ignoring that change. So the quote, which is by Marx and Engels by the way, is meant to signify that the working class as a class defined by their relation to the means of production, not owning capital and therefore having to sell their labor to survive, had no fundamental interest in preserving the existing order because it was structurally exploited.
Are you trying to imply that they have an interest in preserving the current order of things? Is that what you're implying here? What interest did the proletariat have?
Exploited by it. And since their labor upheld the whole order, it made them the class best positioned to carry out revolution. But many workers possess real material advantages, privileges, attachments, obligations, and so on that complicate that hopeful picture.
Are you talking about police? Are you talking about, like, the labor aristocracy? Because, like, we don't deny we never denied the labor aristocracy was a thing. Lenin wrote about this, Marx wrote about this, all of these people wrote about this. You're acting like things have changed since then. They really haven't. I know it sounds insane, but things really haven't changed all that much since then when it comes to capitalism.
I'll give you a few examples of what I mean to paint a picture.
Okay,
And
please.
to be clear from the outset, I know I'm not the first to recognize these things, and this is not going to be a video that is specifically setting out solutions.
Marx probably wrote about that. Oh yeah, Marx never foresaw, and then it's something that Marx very clearly and distinctly wrote like 6 books about.
I have other videos on my channel sketching out what I think could be done to oppose the system and build alternatives. So, workers may be definitionally exploited in either an anarchist or Marxist sense of the term exploitation, but they're still bought by the system in other ways.
What is the anarchist definition?
A mortgage, retirement savings and pension funds, easy.
I guess retirement didn't exist back then. Most people don't have that anymore. Most people don't have mortgages. Most people don't have retirement savings. Most people don't have pension funds anymore. That's what makes a revolutionary moment revolutionary. Because the motherfuckers stop having a need to do anything. They stop having a need to have the system continue. Oh my god, bro.
Access to cheap consumer goods and credit, the next Marvel movie and other forms of
Access to cheap consumer goods? The next Marvel movie? Those things you're just listing off get worse and worse, and it's not like stories stop being fucking stories after the goddamn after the revolution. They still exist. They still exist. If I have grandchildren and communism is achieved, you know damn well they're going to be watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't give a fuck. Jujutsu Kaisen, you know they're going to be fucking watching like Marvel movies still exist, but still wouldn't vanish. The state wouldn't fucking, and plus the Marvel movies and other forms of entertainment would still exist. I mean, under the anarchist mindset, this is understandable. You kind of see why. I probably should share this, but under the anarchist mindset, this is understandable. This is like, because the anarchists want to uproot literally everything. Okay. Shit, man. Fucking hell. Okay. The anarchists. The anarchists want to uproot basically everything. They want to destroy the entire system. They don't want to use the stuff that already exists for the gain of the proletariat. They don't want to just get rid of the bourgeoisie and use like the churches to create community centers, use like corporate buildings for the good of the proletariat. Use corporate and government buildings for the goal of the revolution around the world. You know what I mean? They kind of just want to uproot society and do nothing else. Create their own little commune. They don't even want to uproot society. They want to go to their communes and do a circle jerk. That's what anarchism is. And the thing is, anarchism It's stupid. Doesn't need to be said. But yeah, we just like the other forms of entertainment will still exist. There were movies made in the USSR. There were songs made in the USSR. There were there was stuff being bought in the USSR under Stalin and all that. So,
entertainment and leisure, the treats, basically. Educational opportunities for themselves or their children. And speaking of children,
most educate like the children are losing that educational opportunity. They're trying to bring child labor back. Are you stupid? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be this condescending, but there will be schools under socialism. Probably not under anarchism, but you know.
workers that are parents are likely to be more risk averse. They do have things to.
Does it mean you go out and just start shooting things? Are you stupid? Do you know what a revolution looks like? Because I assure you, whatever the image of a revolution you have in your head, it's not what a revolution actually looks like.
Lose aside from their chains. It's a lot easier for us childless people to call for radical upheaval. Workers may also enjoy professional credentials and reputation. They may enjoy the benefits of citizenship.
And there's a lot you benefits of citizenship. Oh my god. After the revolution, the state won't exist anymore. At least not under the previous state won't exist anymore. The current state will exist. And the social
Citizenship and the tensions that citizenship brings, where workers in Trinidad, for example, may be resistant to Venezuelan immigration because of the driving down of wages in certain industries that comes with that immigration. That kind of competition over jobs or over housing creates divides between the workers that would be better off united. And welfare systems have done a really great job in some parts of the world in de-radicalizing workers' movements and sustaining the stability of the system. Union membership has also served the same.
Oh wow. We have work to do. The workers of the world won't unite. We have work to do. Wow, it's crazy. We have to bring back the labor movement, bring back unions. It's crazy. We have work to do. And are you declaring defeat?
Function. De-radicalizing the worker movement and integrating it into the functioning of the system. There's also the element of geopolitical privilege compared to workers elsewhere. You know, workers of the world, you know.
This is really fucking stupid. Yeah, I guess I'm geopolitically privileged. Just so geopolitically privileged over here. Have you been outside? Have you talked to any American in existence? I can guarantee you, most people in America are completely fucking miserable. third worldist logic.
Night may have been easier when industrial capitalism was concentrated in a few countries, but at this point you have engineers in Germany and dock workers in Singapore and
Wow, engineers in Germany and dock workers in Singapore. Oh my god. Those jobs, those things existed. Fuck.
nurses in Canada and garment workers in Bangladesh and cobalt miners in the DRC, and they're all occupying different positions within the same world economy. So there are things to lose besides the
That's going to shit, by the way.
chains. Even if some of these things like mortgages or credit are chains in themselves. Especially when you're talking about workers in the global north, a lot of them are bought by the treats. They're bought by the relative privileges derived
A vast majority of them are open to socialism. Have you seen the statistics?
from imperialism. Though obviously some of those privileges are eroding, the workers in wealthier countries are still benefiting from cheap imports, resource extraction abroad.
Yeah, no, that's... no. I don't... What are you trying to say here? That the workers of the world won't unite because simultaneously... Because like, I'm not really, like... Most people aren't really benefiting from, like, anything. Like, the last couple of wars and stuff we've been in, oil and gas have gone up, everything's gone up. You know, we're not really benefiting from that anymore. And this is like the perfect opportunity to start building something, but you want to do anarchist things. You want to do adventurism and other bullshit. But you don't want to do socialism because that's too authoritarian. Oh my god.
The dominance of their currencies, that kind of thing. The workers of the world are kind of hard pressed to unite when they're divided by borders, by income differences, by imperialism.
It doesn't have to be between. The statement isn't talking about the workers of the world all at once uniting. That's stupid as shit. It's talking about the workers of the world uniting in specific countries. And then in the other countries, once we have something like the USSR again, the workers of the other countries will unite and seize the means of production and all that. The workers in fucking once America collapses and becomes socialist, then the other countries will follow suit. That's the thing. Just like they did in fucking... Just like when Russia was socialist, the other nations started to follow suit. And eventually World War II happened, and a third of the nation, a third of the world, was socialist, revisionist, but still, at least LARPing socialism.
Reformists and revolutionaries, and when they experience work in different ways. Some workers see a route for themselves for upward mobility, and so they don't want to rock the boat. Or you might have a worker with a pension that effectively owns fractions of capital and benefits from the positive performance of the stock market. And then you also have workers who occupy more complicated positions.
So do you think that all that stuff didn't exist back then? Like, that existed back then. Oh my god.
People who maybe wage workers as their main source of income, but maybe they have stocks on the side, or they have their own little craft store on Etsy or something. And as I'm on this topic,
at that point, you wouldn't be proletariat. You'd be a member of the petty bourgeoisie, a small business owner. You would be the anarchist. The petty bourgeoisie won't The petty bourgeoisie, the small business owner. Obviously, it's not the revolutionary class that Marx talked about. Are you fucking...
I feel I should also remind people that economic class reductionism misses the other investments people may have with the status quo.
What are you talking about? Economic class reductionism is an analytical and political framework that attributes social inequalities such as racism, sexism, homophobia solely due to economic divisions. It posits that these diverse oppressions are a derivative of capitalism, suggesting the broader economic redistribution will ultimately... But it is... The thing is, it's like, that's the thing. That's intersectionality. Every struggle is like intersected directly into the class struggle. I hope he's not talking. I'm gonna give this a good faith. I'm gonna take this a good faith, and I'm gonna assume that he's not intentionally like speaking up out against intersectionality.
Like, class is not the only thing that matters.
But it's all but it's connected to the class. It's connected to class. I kind of agree, but I also like the only people who are saying class is the only thing that matters are the ACP or the Chuds. It's all connected to class.
That doesn't mean that class doesn't matter, but that people occupy positions in multiple hierarchies simultaneously in terms of class and race and gender and nationality and so on, which are going to shape...
Wait a minute, you're black. You completely glossed over the fact that most people are getting hurt by racism, sexism, transphobia, even if they aren't like cis. That like the world the ruling class is like the bourgeoisie basically made transphobia and stuff hella popular. So women who don't look perfectly feminine, so that like the that certain people who are like aren't stereotypically one way, like gay men, trans men, everybody's affected by the bourgeoisie, what they're doing, trying to create fascism, trying to consolidate power. So most people actually do have something to lose because they see the world falling apart in front of their eyes. Sometimes it's like me and people like this don't live on the same planet.
Their interests beyond their class interests. And the separations of the working class are not mere machinations of the capitalist class. You know, they are durable material.
They are. Are we fucking dead ass? They are. Racism, sexism, homophobia and whatnot are. And it's not like borders are like that big of a problem. I have like several friends. My girlfriend is in fucking is in an Asian country. I forgot which one. I know people in like in Britain and fucking England. I know people in Indonesia. It's not like borders are a problem nowadays.
material and status-based interests that people actively defend.
I mean, no, he's not like Marx didn't. Yeah, Marx wrote about the petty bourgeoisie. Engels wrote about the petty bourgeoisie. There are
And
people
because
who
they
are
benefit from
reactionaries.
poor working class conservative men
stuff
or poor working class whites, for example,
His bullshit existed
may
with
still
Marx,
consciously choose gender or racial privilege
Angles
over economic
exist.
liberation.
Read Marx
So
and
you have to
Engels.
engage on multiple axes.
Read Marx
Workers of
and
the world
Engels,
unite.
please. Please.
Yes, you have chains to lose,
Please.
but also the privileges tied to the existing order.
Please, fucking hell. Oh my god. Oh, what a fucking dumbass.